Alright, how's it going? Welcome to Gamedev stream number 15. Today I'm actually really excited about what we'll do. The goal of today is to actually make our enemies more varied, to add variations to them. The problem is, right now we don't really have much variation to our enemies. Like, we have different appearances. They differ, of course, between the worlds, and they have different stats based on what level you're on. But other than that, there's nothing unique to them. Like, all the enemies are essentially the same. So today I'm hoping we can add a bunch of abilities and different behaviors to our enemies to make them actually unique, to make it, to force you to vary your party, if that makes sense. Making it so you can't just have 8 archers in your party and just sweep all the levels. You have to actually strategize regarding your party composition. And I see there seems to be some issue. Hold on. With the stream. Or is there? No, maybe not. Doesn't seem to register the YouTube stream. So I guess I have to keep the chat open on a separate tab here. Alright, anyways. So yeah, enemy variations, enemy abilities, both probably passive abilities as well as active ones. So we'll have some enemies that maybe have some damage resistances. Maybe they resist a certain type of damage, like they resist archer damage or something like that. And then we want other like active abilities like lifesteal, enemies that gain buffs over time, or anything of the sort. So that's the goal of maybe not only today's stream, it will probably span across several streams, but today we'll get started on it. So this is like the next big thing that we're doing. Right, so I think the best way to go about this is we'll add an abstract class. We'll call it enemy ability. And then inside of our enemy instance, we'll just control the enemy abilities from there, pretty much. I'll show you what I mean. So let's create an enemy ability class. So open this up. There we go. Right. Enemy ability. Let's see, I have some footnotes written down here. With an init function, an update, get icon, get description, etc. Right. So start with or hold on. This has to be an abstract class because we can't just have a generic enemy ability attached to an enemy. We of course want to derive from the enemy ability. Right, so let's do a public virtual void init. Initialize, I guess we'll do. And this should take an enemy instance, I think. Like this. We'll keep a reference to this as well. And so we'll just set it like so in our initialize function. So we'll call this whenever we start the enemy, pretty much. The enemy instance basically controls everything with our enemies. And so in this start method, my goal is we'll look for all the different enemy abilities attached to the same game object, and we'll call the initialize function on them and pass the enemy instance. And then from there, inside of our enemy abilities, we can actually handle whatever we want. Like maybe in a lifesteal function, we want to subscribe to a deal damage event, because obviously then we want to heal back some of the damage we dealt. So I guess it's sort of like a decorator pattern. I'm not really sure. I don't have the best knowledge on how the design patterns in object-oriented programming, but I think it's sort of like a decorator pattern. Right, so we have our initialize function. I think we'll do a public virtual void. Maybe we want to do an update function, I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. I think we'll keep it like this. But we'll have to do a public abstract string get description, because we want to my plan is for all of these abilities to be like displayed above the enemy with a particular icon. And if you hover over that icon with your mouse, then you'll see some description pretty much about what their ability is. So I have to define an abstract class or a function for that, as well as an abstract sprite get icon, which is just the icon of the ability, pretty much. Right. That's I think that's all for this abstract class. So now we'll do inside of the enemy instances, right? Here we'll do public list enemy abilities. Actually, we'll keep this private, I think. We don't even need to have this be public. Because my goal is that we just fetch all of these on the start. Maybe protected. Because it might be that because all of these are protected for some reason. It might be that we're deriving. Or that we have a child class of this. Right. Abilities. I think in our start method, right? We'll do have to do like find object of type, right? How do you do that? Find script of type. Let me look this up. Here. Right. So we'll do abilities. Will be new list of enemy ability. Oh, it's just to get components, yeah. Right. That was easy. It was just get components with an S. So we get all the ones. And then we'll do for each enemy ability in abilities, we'll do ability dot initialize this. There. So then we call initialize on all of the abilities that we have attached to this game object which means we just send a reference to our enemy instance. And then our enemy abilities actually handle everything. If that makes sense. Right. So that is like the base pattern done. Now all there is to do is to just add a bunch of abilities. Which is going to be super fun. Let's I just realized we could, in theory, no, that's not. I was gonna say we could, in theory, make these be shared, or make these be at least able to be shared between. I guess we could still do that later on. Yeah, I was gonna say we could share them between enemies and our party members, so we could have like abilities both work on the enemies and the party members. But I think we can easily do that later by just adding a different another initialize method that takes like a controller. Yeah. All right. So let's. The question is, which ability do we want to start with? I have a bunch of cool ideas that I want to do. I guess let's start with the lifesteal. So we'll do lifesteal ability. Have this derived from enemy ability. Of course, we need to implement these abstract methods. Is it? Yeah, we can implement them. Yeah. Great. Get description. We'll just return an empty string for now. And get icon. We'll just return null for now. Right. So here we can just define like a simple float. Lifesteal percentage. Maybe we'll set it to 0.1. It's default. And so we need to, for this we would need to subscribe to the enemy's deal damage method, I think. Let's see if we have that already. I think we do, right? Deal damage. No. We don't have that. So I'll have to implement a bunch of actions, right? Let's see, I did check, and there seems to be a cleaner way to do subscribable methods. Let's see, apparently it's a public event. System.action float on deal damage, right? Yeah. So let's define some of these. On deal damage, public event, system.action float on take damage. What else? Deal damage on death, I guess we could do. Public event, system, action. Nothing, I guess. On death. Yeah, let's keep these three for now. So on take damage, we'll call that in damage, right? Yeah. On take damage, dot invoke amount. So this just means we'll call on take damage to anything that has subscribed to this event. Deal damage, so we'll do on deal damage. Amount, oh, sorry. Invoke, of course. Damage. And then, where is our die method? Here. So here we'll do on the invoke. There. So now we have 3 subscribable methods already that we can use in all of our abilities, pretty much. So for starters, we'll have to override this initialize method, right? What do, Maybe it would look better to do it like this. So we'll do public virtual protected will be protected virtual setup. No, that's not. I was gonna say we'll do like a setup method, so we'll never override the initialize, and we'll call setup in here, so we don't need to repeat. We don't really need to repeat the base call, I guess. Maybe that is better. So we'll do setup concrete ability, something like this. No, it's too messy, I think. Might be better to just do it like this. So do override, and we'll just do base.initialize, because that actually sets the enemy instance. Like this. And then in here, we'll do enemy instance dot on deal damage plus equals, I think it's like this, right? Like a shorthand function. Enemy instance dot heal. Do we not have a heal method? What? Oh, that's because we never heal enemies, obviously. Yeah. So we gotta fix that. Public void heal float amount. We'll first check if is dead. Is there no method like that? Apparently not. Yeah, there's none. Okay. Guess we'll have to add that then. We'll do protected bool is dead. Set it to false. If you're asking why we do this, it's because when the enemy dies, we don't despawn them immediately. You may have seen that we play like an death animation on the enemy. So let's see. In die here, I guess we'll do if we're not dead, then we'll do all of this, of course. And then the first thing we'll do is set dead to true. There. So then in heal, we'll check if we're not dead, then we'll heal. Health equals math dot minimum of max health and health plus amount. And what else do we have to do? We have apply damage, health text. Guess we have to refactor this into a function. Update health bar. There. So now we have a heal method, which is great. So then all we'll do enemy instance.heal. And what we'll pass here should be... should be what? Wait, no. Here, we'll do float damage, right? Damage times lifesteal percentage. Yeah. So what this does, like this looks super weird, right? It looks super weird to me. I haven't used functions like this before. But what this does is it's like a shorthand term. We tell it on deal damage, like on this action, when this thing happens, this thing passes a float, which we'll call damage, as you can see here. Public event system action, it passes a float. That's what this says, pretty much. We name it damage. Then we call the function enemy instance.heal, and the argument we pass is damage times the lifesteal multiplier. Or lifesteal percentage. Guess we'll rename this to molt. There. Right, lifesteal abilities. So let's see if we can actually get this to work now. What if we added to like one random enemy instance? We'll add it to maybe one of these spiders. Let's add it to the purple spider here. Give him a lifesteal ability. And let's have him... Why is this not... Why can we not see this value? Huh? Oh, there's compile errors, of course. The name setup concrete ability does not exist in the current context. Oh, we haven't saved this. There. Now it should pop up. There we are. So let's give him a 100% lifesteal just to test this out. Exit prefab mode, yeah. And let's remove the archer because it's killing them too fast. There's the purple guy. Now let's see. Yeah. So he's healing himself back now. Perfect. So there's already an ability done. And this is, it's going to be super fast to just iterate these. Right, so let's begin by creating an ability display thingy, like above their head. Now, this is going to be a pain to add to all of these prefabs. I just realized, but it's a one-time thing. Well, actually, we can... No, the health bar we can't. I was gonna say we might be able to just programmatically display it above the health bar, but no, that doesn't work. Okay. So what if we do create empty? Ability display, we'll call it. Oh, it's here. So the health bar, it's a 2x2 canvas, right? What if we... It's outside of the canvas, so I'm not sure if it actually displays when I do it. No, it does. Okay. So that's good. So now we can fit 4 abilities. Middle center, something like this, I think. Actually, let's make it twice as high, but we'll do lower center. Wait, horizontal? Yeah, of course, that's why. Should be a grid layout group. Because I want to be able to fit several of them. Lower center. Yeah, there we go. So now we can have 8 abilities on an enemy. We probably won't never go above that. But we might as well give some space to it, I guess. Why not? So I can have 16 abilities on one enemy. Because the thing is, I want to be able to change the abilities on enemies based on difficulties of the game. Because we're having several difficulties, of course, on the different saves that you can have. And so certain enemies will have different abilities based on the current difficulty. So it might be, honestly, that like the final boss has like 10 abilities stacked on top of each other, which would be super fun. Start corner, start axis, child alignment. Yeah, I think this is fine. We'll just have it like this for now. And then how do we do this? Ability, enemy ability slot, we'll call this. Let's give this a script. UI. Enemy ability slot. There we go. So here we'll do public void set enemy ability. So this just sets a reference to an enemy ability. Right? We'll have to need to have a reference to the image. We'll do using Unity engine.ui, of course. So here we'll do image.sprite equals the enemy ability dot get icon. Great. And then we want to have like on mouse over and exit. Which means, yeah, whenever we enter the mouse, we want to display the description. Whenever we exit the mouse from the game object, we want to hide it, of course. So let's see. I think we have in the... Where do we have it? Party? No, not party. Sorry. Or is it under party? Like, I know we have it in our controller scripts. Characters, support classes, support class controller. Here. So we have these. I think we'll just copy these then. Point to enter and exit. There we go. So we'll do here info panel instance dot display info, which will be enemy ability dot get description. Yeah. That's all there should be to it, I think. Support class controller. Oh, right. Sorry, I got lost. So on here, our ability display, right? I guess we'll need to add a reference to that in our enemy instance. That already makes this like the boilerplate stuff we have to update on all of these enemies double. Right, so what do we need? We're going to need a prefab, I guess. Hold on. We need a prefab, which is the slot that actually displays the ability. We need a reference to the holder that we want to create our prefabs under. So that's two things. Is that all? I'm thinking then if we do have the holder have a separate script which just holds the prefab, and then we here in our start method, once we have found all of our abilities, we just tell the holder, hey, these are the abilities, go display them. That might be better, because then all of a sudden it's only one reference and we can just copy paste the holder, right? Think so, yeah. Yeah, let's do it that way. So character enemies, we'll do ability holder. This just has public game object slot prefab, or ability slot prefab we'll call it. And so we'll just add a method public void set display abilities, and this just takes a list of enemy abilities. So we'll do for each enemy ability in enemy abilities. We'll instantiate the ability slot prefab under our transform, I guess. Of course, we'll have to save the slot, and we'll do slot dot get component enemy ability slot dot set enemy ability. There. Right? That's it. So then in our enemy instance, all we'll have need is public ability holder, and we'll do in start ability holder dot display abilities. Right? I think that's it. That's going to display the abilities immediately. And so of course we're going to need to create a prefab out of this slot. We'll do enemy ability slot. Is this all we need? No, we have to add the script, of course. Enemy ability slot, give it the image, there. Attach it. Ability display, we'll give it the enemy ability holder, is that? Yeah, that is it. That takes a reference to the enemy ability slot prefab. And now while we're at it, like, can we create a prefab out of this? All of this? So what if we do this, right? Enemies. Enemy ability slot. Enemy health bar. Yeah, we can. Like this, right? I'm a bit worried though. Prefabs are quite scary sometimes. Enemy health bar. No, but it should work, I think. Because that way we won't need to change this up. Or we won't need to loop through all of this whenever I want to change it further. Yeah. Do we have a health bar script? No, we don't. Because it feels unnecessary as well to have a separate one for the text and the slider. Maybe we'll fix that as well while we're at it. Characters, enemies. Or this could be just a general health bar script. So let's see. Enemy instance. We have our health text and health slider. Yeah. Update health bar. So in here, all we do is this. Set to using the UI library, and here we have to take float health and float max health. There we go. So we can remove this, and instead we add a public health bar, and in our update health bar, we just do health bar dot update health bar health and max health. There. And now this is the benefit of having this be a prefab, because now we can just add it like this. Oh, not enemy health. Health bar, of course. And we give it the text, right? Is that it? Yeah. And the slider. I think that's the right one. Yeah, it is. There we go. So in this prefab, we just have to attach the health bar and the ability holder. Yeah. Copy. Let's see, let's go into the purple spider that we did earlier. So the health bar is updated here, and we just have to attach it like this. So now this is just going to be a bunch of updating of all of these prefab. I think I'll just do the desert ones in this stream, so you won't have to watch me just do this super boring stuff of just adding references like this. And then I'll do the other worlds basically offline. And this health bar is different, yeah. It needs to be further up, that's all there is. Or what? Scale. Oh, it's double the scale as well. There. Purple spider, crab is done. Scorpion. Red spider. And almost at the end now. And finally yellow snake. Come on. There. We're done with this world at least. Now let's see if we, hopefully we don't get any runtime errors. Nothing. Great. And already the little purple spider, the one that actually has an ability, is displaying stuff. Now the question is, oh, object reference not set to instance of an object. Okay, so why is that? Health bar dot update health bar. Oops. Sorry about that. Let's clear the console. There was one of them. Let's see. What is it? Oh, sorry, my shaker is getting, like, it's super humid in the air. So my shaker is like super watery. Alright. Which one is not? I guess it's faster to just look through the prefabs. There, the brown spider. I forgot him. There we go. All the other ones are fine. Yeah. Okay. So we're not displaying any ability description for some reason. Oh, why is that? It's displaying, right, that's a problem. It's displaying the enemy info instead. And I think this has to do with how I've done the actual display logic. Let's see here. On pointer enter, display enemy info. Oh, we're just doing it outright. So let's see. I guess we'll have to check if One ugly way to do it would be, because this is the image, when we hover over this image, then we want to display the enemy info. But if we're hovering over the child slot of this image, then we don't want to do that. So one way we could do it is just if event data dot what? Game object? No. How do we check which game object it is? I know I have done that in some other script. Let's see. Yeah, this. Like I did this with the party classes. So I guess we might as well do it here as well. Should be possible. We should work fine. Let's see. Oh, no, that was a purple spider. We missed him. There. Okay, so now it's displaying an empty string. Oh, that is because we haven't done it, right? Life stability. Yeah, we return an empty string. Yeah. So let's do here then. Life steal. Self heals plus lifesteal molt times 100 dot to string point 0 point hashtag percentage of damage dealt. That should work. Let's see. The red spider, purple one. Lifesteal, self-heals 100% of damage dealt. Yeah. They're perfect. So now already we have one ability actually fully functional. Of course we gotta add icons to these eventually. But yeah, that is one ability done. So now we can just start adding tons of abilities really quick once this is done. Right, so what other ability do we want to do now? We can remove all of this stuff. We go back into characters, enemies, abilities. So lifesteal ability. I have, like, as I said, I have tons of ideas here on my Trello board. So there's poison ability, obviously, that deals poison damage. So your party gets poisoned, they start taking self-damage. Damage ramp up, which means their damage increases the longer they're alive, pretty much. First blood ability, which means the enemy is immune to damage until they have hit your party at least once. Goblin's Greed, which means the attack speed of the enemy gets increased depending on how many coins are underground. So I think I'll use that a lot in the goblin world. Haste, which just ups attack speed. Headshots, which just gives crit chances. Healer, which makes them heal the party instead of damage your party. Reflect, Foul Play, Reaper, Bannerman. Yeah, like there's a lot of ideas I have. Which one would be the best now? Let's see. Main Classes, where is our enemies? Here. Enemy instance. Let's see if we can add some more actions that we can subscribe to. Attack. Scorch. Heal. I guess we could add a heal. On heal. Public event system.action float on heal. There we go. Damage, crit damage. Yeah. Or how does that look? We do apply damage. I have to move this down here, I think. There we go. Okay. Lifesteal damage ramp up. I think we'll do that one. Damage ramp up. That sounds super fun. Damage ramp up ability. I think we'll copy all of this. Based on initialize. Damage ramp up. And now the question is, what do we want to do? Public float, ramp up interval. We'll have one, which means how often should we ramp up the damage? Let's do every 10 seconds, I think. And then public float, damage increase, which is just how much should we increase by a percentage? So like 10%. Increases damage by damage increase every plus ramp up interval seconds. And here we'll have to do a coroutine, I think. So we'll do I enumerator increase damage. While true, we'll do yield return new wait for seconds, ramp up interval. Alright. We'll do start coroutine increase damage in our initialize method. And we'll do enemy instance dot we have the damage here, yeah? Question is, do we want to directly change the damage? I guess we do. Public float increase damage float mult damage times equals 1f plus mult. There. That did not work. Oh, shouldn't return a float, of course. There. So enemy instance dot increase damage by the damage increase. There. Now let's attach that to one of our enemies. Let's see. Who do we want to give a damage ramp up to? Maybe this guy? This brown spirit? Yeah, what if we give him damage ramp up ability? So every 10 seconds he will increase his damage by 10%. Let's see if that works. Damage ramp up increases damage by 10% every 10 seconds. So let's see. He's dealing 33 damage now. $36.3. And now he's gonna die, yeah. But yeah, that worked. That's super cool. That's it, right? Yeah, that's another ability done. So now we have 2 abilities. That is lifesteal done, damage ramp up done. First blood. Let's do that one. I really think that one's gonna be fun. Because that one would really, if you have a party of all archers, you're screwed the second you encounter an enemy like that. First blood ability. Let's once again copy this stuff. It won't have an argument. But we'll do on take damage. Now let's see, enemy instance. We want to have a protected bull is immune, I guess we'll call it, equals false. We're not immune. Well, maybe now that I think about it, I think we want to do a protected, what would it be? Multiplicative accumulator. Incoming damage mult equals new multiplicative accumulator. Base value will be 1, min value will be 0, and max value will be, we don't have to set that. But what this is like a helper class I wrote several months ago. It allows you to have several multipliers on top of each other. So with this one we can just call incoming damage mult.get value. And that could contain like 10 different multipliers. And it will give us like a multiplicative value of all of those multipliers. Of course you could, why don't you just use a list? You may ask. The problem with a list is how do you keep track of which multiplier, which class is responsible of? So for example, with this first blood ability, if we had a list, then of course we could just add 0 to the list as a multiplier. But what if then when we take damage, we want to remove that multiplier? How do we keep track of which value is our value? Which one do we actually remove based on this class? So that's what I did with these. So we have these classes, the accumulators, and they don't take a normal value, they take a value wrapper. So we just wrap a basic value inside of a object. And that way we can easily just add and remove them as we want. That's right, incoming damage mult. We'll do this in our apply damage, right? Yeah. I just realized there's a lot of stuff that we don't actually, that we like ignore. That's weird when we deal crit damage. Alright. So what we'll do here is amount times equals, right? No. That's not what we want to do. Guess we'll do it here and we'll have to figure it out later how we actually do it with the crit damage as well. Alright, amount. Oh, Jesus Christ. That scared the hell out of me. I don't know if you could hear that. I think my neighbor was drilling. Oh, that was so... That freaked me out. Jesus. Okay. Amount times equals... incoming damage mult dot get value. There we go. So now in our first blood ability, we should be able to just do value wrapper. Value wrapper or value equals new value wrapper 0. And then we do enemy instance dot. Oh, we have to add a helper functions to this. I just realized. We'll need a public void add incoming damage multiplier, which takes a value wrapper. Incoming damage mult dot add value wrapper, and then we need a remove as well. Public void remove incoming damage multiplier. There. So then here we'll use the enemy instance dot add incoming damage multiplier value. So we add 0 to the incoming damage multiplier, which means we'll always take 0 damage, or the enemy will always take 0 damage. And then on take damage, or on deal damage, we'll just do enemy instance dot remove incoming damage multiplier. So as soon as we deal damage, we remove that multiplier. That means we are immediately going to be able to take damage again. So here we'll just add immune to damage until first hit. Can we not? Can't do it on a separate line. I guess I'll do this. Immune to damage until it has dealt the first blow. There. Now the problem is I have to fix this. That's a huge oversight. Like the crit damage, we don't... There's so much stuff that we ignore on the crit damage stuff. Apply damage. Yeah. I think we'll just do it like this. Bull crit equals false. Yeah. Can we safely remove this now? I think so. Oh, sorry. We'll do this, right? If it is crit, then we'll do this. Else. There. That's the only real difference, really. is how we display. If we display with a red text or a yellow one. Some we're gonna get errors, of course. Just have to do damage, source, and we'll have to pass true, which means it's a crit. Same with the mouse controller. Null and true. There we go. So now that should be the first blood ability also implemented. Let's see. Who do we want to give first blood? The flame golem, definitely. Like, I feel like it would be a suiting. Eventually it would be a suiting ability to add to like a ghost enemy. But this is like the closest we have to ghosts right now. Maybe the spirit? Yeah, wait, the spirit. I thought that was a mini-boss, but it's not. The brown golem is the mini-boss, and the desert troll is the main boss. Yeah, let's give it to the spirit. First blood ability. So now that means he should be completely immune to damage until he hits the party first. Let's see if that works. Oh, there it was. But then the party dummy is in the way, kind of, right? Let's see. Oh no, he's not. Okay, so he takes 0 damage. And now he actually starts taking damage. Let's kill him off. There we go. This one has lifesteal, right? Yeah. Lifesteal. Snake has nothing. Red spider doesn't have anything either. Oh, we're gonna die. Okay, so where's the spirit again? I'm gonna test it. Yeah. First blood. I'm actually super excited about this. This is going to be so fun, like all of these abilities together. Right, so that is the first blood ability done as well. Goblin's Greed, Shockwave, Haste, Reflect. That could be fun, right? Reflect the percentage of damage taken to the front party member. Yeah, let's do that. Characters, enemies, abilities. We'll do Reflect ability. Public float, reflect, molt. Set that to 10% as the default value, I think. We'll do enemy instance dot on take damage. Party, no, it's level manager, right? It's the one that actually handles. Or hold on, let me check. Enemy instance. Deal damage. Party holder instance damage party member. That's it. Okay. Damage times reflect molt. Reflect. I would do reflects plus 100. Of damage taken to the party member to the front, or just of damage taken. I think that makes sense. Prefabs, characters. No, sorry. Enemy instances. Okay, Flame Golem. This dude makes sense to have reflect. Yeah, 10%. He'll reflect 10% of the damage. Let's see, there is. Oh, yikes. That is an infinite loop we just cast. Right. Why is that? Let's check. On take damage. Party holder instance damage party member. Damage times reflect mult. Game object. Oh, yes. Right. Because our knight, the knight also has a knowledge skill from rebirthing that makes him reflect damage. So basically we just bounce damage back and forth between the two enemies infinitely. That's the problem. Right, it's damage party member. Caller. Caller, we don't do anything with this. So I think here we'll have to add damage caller. If we have to check here if the caller is not equals null, I guess. And we can have here it can optionally be null. Pretty much. Let's add the same thing here in character help. Let's see, damage. Equals null. There. So in here we'll just do damage times reflect mult. We'll just pass null then. Because so that is like one exception. We can't reflect already reflected damage, if that makes sense. There we go. Yeah, so now we take some self-damage every time we attack the flame golem. So how are the knights going to, or the archers going to? Oh, they right. Yeah, that's true. That gets reflected upon the party dummy because the party dummy is the member in the front. That's interesting. I wonder if that's the way we want to do it. I don't think so. On take damage. Let's see. So we have the controller. So we can theoretically reflect it upon the party member that deals the damage and not just to the front party member. I think that makes more sense, honestly. Or does it? I mean, yeah, it does, obviously, but how fun will that be is the question. No, let's do that. Yeah. I think we'll do it. Or maybe not. I'm not sure. Because then your party is going to get, like, in the later levels, your party is going to get totally wiped as soon as you encounter someone like that. Because the thing is, your party will probably look something like this. Hold on. This is probably how your party will look towards the end game. Something like this. And Archer, upgrading the health on Archer is super expensive, as you can see. Now they only have 40 health, and it costs 182,000. Whereas, like, look at the difference in the price for health for the different classes. Like, I intentionally did it that way, so your party classes specializes in different things. But if all of a sudden we have an enemy that reflects damage that it takes back on whoever damaged it, then like the glass cannons of the party, they're going to get totally wiped as soon as they encounter that enemy. So I think honestly we'll keep it to where it just reflects to the front of the party. Well, let's get rid of these guys. They're killing him too much. Let's see, what does it say? There. Reflects 10% of damage taken. So I think we'll add that little disclaimer. Reflectability to the front of the party. Yeah. We'll keep it like that. Right. So that is 1, 2, 3. We have 4 abilities already. That's super fun. Like we can already create many variations with this. Alright. Foul play is one that I have in mind. That would be super fun. That is definitely going to be like on a boss when you play on a really hard difficulty. Foul play, the thought I had is enemies with the foul play ability, they won't attack the front of your party. They'll completely ignore that, like your party composition. They'll instead go for the weakest member and then work their way up. So like they'll start by slaughtering your archers, and then they'll go for probably your mage, and then they'll go for the knight as soon as they've gotten rid of all of the weakest party members. But I think that is going to be some, like, we're going to have to do some rewrites with that. Apply damage. Yeah. We have this source that we actually... No, wait, apply damage. Deal damage, yeah. Partyholder.instance.damage party member. Yeah, that's going to entail a bunch of rewrites in this code if we want to add that. So I think we'll wait with that one, but that one's going to be really fun to do. Right, so maybe let's do a few like normal abilities or boring ones, whatever we want to call them, like haste ability. And that is just it ups your attack speed. Enemy instance dot. Are we going to have to add multipliers to all of this? Attack. Incoming damage mult. Maybe we'll just outright remove these and make these multipliers public. I think we'll do that instead. So we'll do public, multiplicative accumulator, attack speed, or attack delay, rather. New multiplicative accumulator. So 1 is the base value, and the minimum value will be like 0.01. Public multiplicative accumulator, damage mult. I think we'll keep those 3 for now. That should be enough. So attack delay mult. So get value. There we go. So then all we'll do in the haste ability is enemy instance dot, or first value wrapper, I guess. Haste molt. Enemy instance dot. Attack, delay molt. Add value. Haste. Attack speed increased by what would it be? It would be 1 minus that. 1 minus haste mode, right? Like if we do 0.9, yeah. There. It's kind of a boring one, but they also add some variations. Cannot convert from double to float. I forgot an F somewhere. There we go. Enemy instance does not contain a definition for add. Yeah. So we'll have to do just incoming damage mode dot add. Incoming damage mode dot remove. There. Oh, I forgot to add it to an enemy to test it, of course. Let's give the haste ability. Let's do 0.75 as the initial value, I think. Or actually, let's do 50, like 50%. And I just realized it's not 1 minus, is it? It's going to be 1 divided by it. Like if we do 0.5, then it's double. Yeah. One divided by 0.5 is 2. Ay, this is a bit messy, but it is -1 as well. There we go. Let's add it to an enemy instance. The desert. Who do we want to give? The scorpion. Yeah. Let's give the scorpion a super fast attack speed. Give him haste ability. So he's going to attack twice as fast. No. These guys attack every 3 seconds, right? Yeah. What about the scorpion? 1, 2, yeah. Yeah. He's attacking much faster. Did he despawn because I think I accidentally pressed the back, like go back a level button. Let's see. Hello? Can we get a scorpion, please? There. Yeah. He's super quick. Cool. So that's haste. Done. So let me just run to the bathroom real quick, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. So I'll leave my party here, grinding while I'm gone. Alright, I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right. So we have, how many abilities do we have now? Let's see. Characters, enemies. 1, 2, 3. We have 5 abilities. Okay. I think we'll do the foul play ability. See how we can do that. So basically that one will actually overwrite a behavior instead of the other ones, which just kind of add to the behavior, if that makes sense. Now we'll see enemy instance. Or maybe we'll store something in the, where is it? Enemy instance here. Like, what if we... Let's say we have something like this. So we'll do not an enum, a struct, right? Is that how we did Verity? Dictionary. No, I want to see the Verity. Okay, hold on, let me make sure. Let me look at this. Rarity. It's just an... Yeah, it's an enum. Okay. So what if we do something like this? Enum targeting behavior. We have front and foul. Front, weak. Maybe we'll do strong. And front, weak, strong. Yeah. Front, back, weak, strong. So we have 4 different targeting behaviors, right? The front will be the default one, of course. Protected. We'll have this be. Protected targeting behavior. Targeting. There. So in our deal damage, we do switch targeting behavior. Damage party member, how does that... Ah, and my ID broke again. Ah. So annoying. Okay, so let's close this and open it back up. I don't know why it does that. Like, it just stops giving me access to control open my classes. And it's like a must when you're jumping between classes like this. Okay. Where is our deal damage? Here. So it's... There we go. Damage party member. Party members.I. So this is the party health, right? Yeah, the character health. So what if in our damage party member we add an optional argument, which is character health. Specific member equals null. So that's an instance that took damage. Yeah, I think we'll move that down a bit. And here we'll do, if there's no specific member, then we'll do all of this behavior, right? Otherwise, we'll just do this. Oops. Here. We'll just copy this code damage taken dot or equals specific member dot damage. There. So that now that does allow us to immediately just damage any arbitrary party member instead of the one in the front only. Deal damage. Now the question is this the way we want to do it? Target behavior? I feel like it would be cleaner to just pass it onto Okay, I see now. This is some language server connection. This is some bullshit like Microsoft C# extension, I think. It's messing it up. Super annoying. And it just breaks my idea completely. I'm gonna have to fix that till the next time. Right. So the targeting behavior, like either we just use an enum, like this, front, back, weak, strong, etc. Or I think it would be much cleaner to add like public event system dot action on before deal damage, like this. And then we just check, I guess. Can we get return values of this? No, right? That won't work. Unity C#, see if event has subscribers. Like, what if we check, yeah, if it has any listeners? So we can just do this, if on before deal damage. On before deal damage dot invoke damage. So seemingly we should be able to do it like this. So we check if we have, no, wait, on before deal damage. We have to rename this to I can't even rename it. Like, this is so frustrating. It breaks my ideas so hard I can't even use like basic things like rename functions. I swear to God, these extensions are making me lose my shit. Alright, enemy instance. On before deal damage, yeah. We rename this to damage behavior overwrite, I guess. If damage behavior overwrite equals null, I guess. Yeah. If there is no damage behavior override, then we use the default one. Just the damaged party member. So then we'll just add a enemy ability. We'll call it what did I say? Foul play. Foul play ability. We'll do enemy instance dot damage behavior overwrite. we do this? Plus equals. And here we'll actually do our own little method. Foul play damage, we'll call it. Private, no, it has to be public. There we go. Get description, foul play. Ignores team, party, composition, and always goes for the weakest target. Right. So here we'll do list of character health. All characters equals party holder instance dot get party members. Right, that returns what we want. Yeah. Character health weakest member equals all characters. First one for each character health in all characters. If no wait, we have to also store the health. No wait, we don't. Sorry. If the character health dot get max health is smaller than the weakest member dot get max health, then the weakest member is this one. And once we have found the weakest member, then we'll do party holder instance dot damage party member. And how did we do it? It was just damage game object and damage game object and the weakest member. It's so messed up. Like this one ability is going to really screw over some party compositions. But like I said, this probably will only be in hard when you're playing on hard game mode. Oh right, forgot to add it to an enemy. Prefabs, no, not characters. Enemy instances, desert. So which one of these will have foul play? I think the black spider. This guy. Foul play ability. This is so fun. Like all of these abilities are going to... I'm so excited. Right. So let's see. Let's make sure they actually still do attack like normally. Let's get rid of these guys. Let's add a knight and we'll add a miner in the back. Poor guy. Yeah, okay. So their attack behavior is still like it's supposed to be. Now let's see if we can find the black spider. There. Foul play. Ignores party composition and always goes for the weakest target. Okay, so we got null reference exception. Why is that? Foul play 16. If character health, they'll get max health. Right. We have to check, of course. If character health, if it is null, then we just continue. We skip this iteration. That it was checking this one. This one was null, of course. Right. Let's see. There. Yeah, he went straight for the miner. Ay, ay, ay. And he just also skips over the party dummy, of course. I'm not sure I want... Maybe I don't want him to skip the party dummy. Like, that might be the exception. Like, they have to go through the party dummy first, at least. And let's get rid of the archer. He's too OP. So he goes for the miner. Then he goes for one of my mages. Yeah, that's so messed up. Foul play. Right. That's super fun. I really like that. So now we can overwrite the behavior in different abilities. So we could add one that goes for like the strongest party member, the one that deals the most damage, or whatever. But yeah, that is that's super fun. So that is the foul play ability done as well. Poison ability, then we have to add, if we want to do poison, we have to add like debuff and buff support and all that. I think that'll be for later. Shockwave is one that will like damage the entire party, maybe. Oh, Reaper. Yes, that one is gonna be fun. Let's do that. So the Reaper ability is every time the enemy gets a kill, they get stronger. Characters, enemies. Reaper ability. I can't remember what it was. It was one of like when I was imagining all these abilities. There was like a combo with this one that I thought would be super broke. Oh yeah, that was the one we just did. The foul play and Reaper. Like that would be super busted. So they go for your weakest party members, right? Yeah, they go for your weakest party member, and every time they kill a party member, they get stronger. So then they just farm your weakest members, and then they go for your strongest one. Yeah, that's going to be super fun. Damage increase. Enemy instance. If we don't have an on kill method, right? We have on damage. Apply damage. No, wait. This is the wrong one. Deal damage here. Damage party member. So we have specific member dot damage, return amount. Yeah. Do we not? I thought we did something with the collar stuff. Yeah, we do. So what if we pass the collar here? So we do game object collar equals null. On that invoke, if there is a collar, and the collar dot get component enemy instance, then we do collar dot get component enemy instance, kill the party member. I will pass this. So then we'll add a public void kill party member, character health, and then we'll just do on kill invoke, and maybe we'll pass the character health as well, in case we want that. So now all we have to do is on heal, on deal damage, public event system dot action, character health, on kill. There. So then in our Reaper ability, we do on kill, character health, character, and we'll do enemy instance dot increase damage, right? I guess we should get rid of this one now. the increased damage. Because now we have this, the attack, the damage mult. That we're not using anywhere. Yeah, so we'll use the like accumulator instead. Or wait. No, that's wrong. Let's not do that. Sorry. Increased damage will do. And then Reaper increases damage by damage increase. For each kill. There. Now who do we want to give the Reaper ability to? Let's give it to the snake. Give him Reaper ability. So now his damage should increase by 10. No, wait, sorry. Yeah, we're gonna add it to the one that has foul play as well. Just to make them really OP. Let's see. With the snake. That's gonna be interesting. We can actually see, yeah, it does display both now. Foul play. So what is his damage? 29.7, 32.67, 35. Yeah. His damage does get increased. 24. Okay. What if we do just minors? So now he has 22 damage, 24, 26, 29. Yeah. That is a super interesting combo. Foul play and Reaper. It's so great that you can actually combine abilities seamlessly as well. So that is the Reaper ability done. Wait, do we have... Now that I think about it, maybe the value wrapper... No, it doesn't have a set value. Like, I was gonna say, we could use the accumulator more easily if we had something like that. I mean, we could add that. So we just public void set value. Because that would be much, much cleaner, I think. So we'll do this, right? We'll do value wrapper. Reaper mult equals new value wrapper of 1, right? And we do enemy instance dot damage mult add this Reaper mult. And then every time we get a kill, we increase the value inside the value wrapper instead. So we'll do Reaper mult dot set value Reaper mult dot get value plus the damage increase. That should do the same thing. Instead, it will be much cleaner because we just have one value that we use to every time we deal damage. So then we can manage that much easier if we want to in the future, like if we want to remove it or something. see. There. Damage. His display damage will not increase, and his damage doesn't increase either. Okay, so that was just a different error. Enemy instance 51. Okay, so that's just from the boss, I think. Yeah, that's because we went too far back. Why is that not working? Reaper molt.set value. Ooh, it's because we have... I know what the issue is. It's because the multiplicative accumulator, this has like a dirty flag. Dirty flag means that we like keep an internal check on whenever we have changed this. So we don't need to recalculate this every time. Right. So what do we want to do? Accumulator here, right? Add value wrapper. Guess we have to do a public event system.action on value changed. Like this. And then we'll have to do on value change dot invoke. So in our accumulator, we'll do value dot on value changed plus equals set dirty. And then if we remove it, we'll unsubscribe to it, of course. There. I think that was the issue. It was just that it didn't recalculate it because it didn't. The accumulator thought I haven't gotten any new values, so I probably have the same value. But it, of course, didn't. Because the value that it had inside of it changed. Right, so let's see. Spider, so it deals 32 damage, 35, and 38, yeah. His displayed damage, of course, is not being updated now. Which we'll have to fix. Enemy instance. Here, right? We have like a... yeah, here. Damage, yeah. So we'll have to add a separate method. Call it get damage. Apply damage, right? No. Deal damage, here. We will do return damage times the damage molt. And we'll use that here. Get damage. And we'll do the same in our little display thingy. There. So now it should actually update in the display panel as well. See if we can get, there we are. So his damage is 28, 31, and 33. We should deal like 34 damage. Oh, right, we have armor. No, we don't. Oh, we have the outright, yeah, we have armor polish, of course, which just decreases damage taken. But yeah. So that is the Reaper ability done as well. Let's get rid of this increased damage function outright, because I don't like that. There is one more, right? The ramp up ability that we have to change then. Yeah. So let's see here. Reaper ability. We have this little damage ramp up here. Reaper molt. Private value wrapper. Ramp up molt. So here we'll just do enemy instance dot add ramp up multiplier, and we'll just do ramp up mult dot set value get value plus the damage increase. I think, right? It's not. Oh, enemy instance dot damage mult. There we go. So now we got rid of that ugly method entirely. Now, which one was it that had the... Oh, this guy. Damage ramp up. So let's see. Damage 24. Let's fast forward. 26. 28. 31. 33. Yeah. 36. Yeah. It's working. Yeah, and that's the boss from the first world, which is why it didn't change the scenery. We get some runtime errors because we haven't updated all the enemy instances. So let's see now. We did the Reaper ability. Yeah. So now we have what? 6 different enemy abilities already. 7 even. So we have Reaper, which buffs the enemy when they get a kill. Reflect, which makes them deal damage back to the front. Lifesteal, which kind of explains itself. They enemies heal damage that they deal. Haste, which just multiplies the attack delay for an enemy. Foul play, which makes an enemy go for the weakest party member instead of the one at the front. First blood, which makes an enemy completely immune to damage until they have dealt the first blow. And then damage ramp up, which makes an enemy increase damage every X amount of seconds. So that already, like combining all of these on different enemies, already makes them much more interesting. And then as I said, my plan is for these to be, these will actually vary based on the game difficulty that you do. So like if you do a hard game, then the bosses and whatnot will have much more various abilities and stronger abilities, of course. But yeah, I think we'll leave it at that for this stream with these 7 abilities. Of course, these are not the only abilities. Like we're going to add many, many more. Like this is going to be... We're going to have a big library of abilities, meaning the enemies will be super, super interesting, all of them, and unique. So we'll do that in the next stream. And offline, I'll probably work on... that seems pretty cool. Yeah, this is going to be super interesting. Like now the enemies will actually have some variations. They won't just be the same concept, but just with different visuals. Right, so we'll add more abilities on Wednesday. In offline, I will probably work on setting up difficulties, get that going for different saves, and then we'll also add a script for these enemies that we can actually define different combos of abilities based on the current game's difficulty, if that makes sense. Right, and of course, we'll add multi-enemies. I think I have that already. Let's see. Like, I'd have some sort of support for it. Enemies, between enemies, backline enemies. Yeah. So, like, I think I already have support for having... Let's see. Like, entire parties of enemies, pretty much. Yeah. So, like, that is already a thing. But we'll work on that further once we have more abilities. So you'll have like a damage dealer in the front, or a tank in the front, same as you would compose your own party, pretty much. And then you'll have maybe like a healer or something in the backlines. So that's going to be super fun. Like, I'm really looking forward to making the enemies and the difficulty actually more interesting and unique. Right, so that's it for the stream. I think I'll go rest now. Make sure to wishlist Gridle, of course, if you haven't done so already. This is the game that we've been working on for all of these streams. It's out on Steam to wishlist, and there's an early version out on the web. Just search the same name and you should find it. Right, and I also posted like a short devlog a couple of days ago. So if you haven't checked that out, then please do. It's like a summary of my first 10 streams, maybe, where I created all the different minigames for Gridle. Alright, so we'll leave it at that, as I said, and hopefully I'll see you all on Wednesday.